I wish I could find the police sketch because I would show it to y'all and it would freak you out. So today is August 25th. It's the date that always hits me weird. That's the date that I was hit by a fully loaded dump truck while driving to my very first acting job ever. And don't get me wrong, it's that whole wreck experience. It's not like some dark cloud that hangs over me all the time. It's just, when the actual date arrives every year, of course, I think about it and I'm always grateful to be here. But, I wasn't back then at all. And it's such a weird experience that I still don't even know how to wrap my head around. The more I remember what happened, the weirder it is. It's like, if I had that sketch, if you could see the path that my car traveled, it defies logic, and I'm such a logically minded person, and I wish that the technology that exists today existed back then. I wish somebody could have just randomly been there and have accidentally recorded it on their phone. Of course, in today's day and age, if you had footage from years ago, people would just say, well, it's fake, it's AI, it's whatever. But man, I wish it had happened in between the technology of, decades ago and what we have today, because if it happened in a time period where we at least had phones and a way to record something, but AI wasn't a thing yet, it would freak you out to see what happened to my car. And I will never forget talking to the cop in my hospital room, and him telling me that he didn't even understand it. Talking to the people that actually saw it happen, and he's like, you shouldn't be here. Everybody that saw it happen was like, a live person should not have been able to be pulled out of that car. That's a dead body situation, period. There's no other way. Just the physics of it. And I didn't even realize it at the time. I mean, I remember the guy telling me specifically, not just that it was a dump truck, but that it was fully loaded. I always remembered the term fully loaded dump truck, because there's a big difference between being hit by an empty dump truck and a fully loaded one. And it was several years ago when I started thinking, just the math of it all. And I started looking up, well, how big are those things? How much can they carry? What would it weigh? Trying to calculate the metric, or the tons of force. I'm like, what was I hit? How much hit me? I had hardly a scratch on me, and it's just, I know that there are so many people on my Facebook that, are from different walks of life, and people believe or don't believe whatever they want, and that's cool, but there's no rational way to explain the fact that I didn't die that day beyond divine intervention. There's just, it drives me crazy thinking about it, because I can't remember, back then, I could only remember up to a certain point before the impact, and then it was just, I don't know how long I was unconscious. I don't know if it was 5 minutes, 15 minutes, or 50 minutes, but it was so weird. Starting several years ago, I started seeing little flashes to where I can now remember a nanosecond before the impact. And I've always been able to remember waking up in my car. But I didn't think I was in my car. I didn't know whose car I was in, because obviously you're completely out of it after that type of a head injury and you're waking up. I was confused because I'm thinking, well, my car isn't soaked with blood. Whose car am I in, and whose blood is that? And then of course I'm starting to realize, well, that must be my blood, and that means I'm in my car. And I remember I remember the glove compartment in the driver's seat, like brand new, as if it had not been hit by that big of a truck. I don't know. It's just I think about it, and I'm always grateful that I'm still here, because there's not a doubt in my mind I was supposed to die that day. And after it happened, I wished I had died. I remember getting really mad, because, I mean, just like that, it would have been the easiest thing in the world. Just boom, you don't exist anymore. You know, you never see it coming, and then you're just gone. And I was really mad for a long time about it all. But I don't know. I'll quit rambling. But it's a day that always hits me kind of strange, you know. A lot to think about.